Coach Colin here with the absolute best takes and insights on the podcasts and videos you love. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. Wasting no time. It's Jorge Masvidal and Joe Rogan. They're talking about the situation with Trump. They're talking about the banks. They're talking about the fact that the government's trying to divide and conquer us all. And of course, it's the Cuban American who's talking about this. There's a lot of UFC fighters who have the persona of being all American, but they never speak on the issues that are affecting us. They never take a stand, and Jorge Masvidal, without fail, every time some kind of injustice pops up, he has no problem addressing it. He has no problem talking about it. And that's why, even though I don't follow the UFC all that crazy, he has to be my favorite fighter. Let's just get right into it. I'm going to interrupt halfway through because I'm trying to avoid those copyright restrictions. You got to deal with it. Let's get into it.
You know, now what they're trying to do to our boy Trump is fucking nuts, bro.
They're talking about arresting him for paying a girl to stop talking about them having sex. I thought that was a good deal. I thought it's a good deal. You pay someone. Didn't Clinton do that? Didn't John Edwards got in trouble for doing that? But he didn't go to jail. I don't believe he went to jail.
Bill Clinton got a blowjob while he was our president. While me and you are paying our tax dollars, this guy's, and that's the one that he got caught in. How much other shit do we not know about? Why isn't there no nothing on Bill Clinton, on him being on Jeffrey Epstein's fucking charter fucking plane numerous times on the list?
26 times.
But on the one dude, that's how you know that he's doing something right. The one dude that's fighting for us, that's actually for the people, they want to crucify him.
But they just don't want him president again. And they know that if he runs against Biden is so old. You know, no matter what you think about his policies, you hear him talk. And
can't even make it down a flight of stairs, man.
He's so old.
Honestly, I just have to say right now, Joe always does this, and you got to respect Joe. He knows how to go through those laser beams of, like, you know, staying neutral. But like Jorge brought up a great point. The fact that the one guy who seems like he's fighting for the people, he seems like the things that he does are in the interest of the people of the country, though that's the person they're trying to take down the most. I think there's a real sign there. Like, love Trump or hate Trump, there's a real sign there when what they want to do is take out the guy who seems like he's helping the economy, seems like he cares about how the economy does. He may care about how the economy does because he has selfish reasons. He knows his businesses will flourish if the economy flourishes. But isn't that how all people should feel? Isn't that how every president should feel? Every president should be like, let's make the economy absolutely booming. That way any shell companies or any companies I have around will do well as well. But instead, we're in this situation where it's like the economy's doing shit. And then you just have a president who's just like, it's better than it's ever been. Bye, guys. And we just kind of got to just sit there and just be like, okay. Meanwhile, bread and eggs and everything is like through the roof. It's wild. But I just wanted to bring that up because Joe tends to, like, instead of siding with him, instead of having that conversation, he just goes, oh, well, they just don't want to see him president again. It's not just that. They don't want to see him helping the people. There's something going on where every president, I won't say every president, but for some reason, they don't want a president who is helping the country more than helping the politicians and the people behind the scenes and lining people's pockets. Now, I'm not saying Trump doesn't do that at all, but he definitely, it was a better America when he was in office. You can't deny it. You just can't.
Old. He's so compromised. You watch him talk years ago. He was never an impressive guy. Biden was never impressive when he was young because he's full of bluster and he lied a lot about his record and his education background. He lied about a bunch of things. He's a goofy old politician that's been in that career.
Yeah.
He's been in that lying business forever.
And the China money that he's been getting for years,
Crazy.
Hooking up his son, the computer, denying the computer when it's like, bro, you could see it, bro.
Crazy.
Before the FBI declared that this was real, I was already watching videos of him like, bro, how are you going to say this is not real? It's all over the fucking internet.
It's all over the internet.
Suppressed it before the election?
Yeah, they suppressed it off of Twitter. And the fact that the liberals keep saying that there's nothing to that, like, what are you talking about? If that was Trump and Donald Trump Jr. was doing street crack with hookers in Vietnam and getting foot jobs, You'd be
and getting $10 million from these places where he's not equipped to have those type of jobs.
Yes. He was getting money from China and from Ukraine. I mean, it's wild.
And those are the same people that he's giving our tax dollars to.
Yes.
Like, what? No offense to what the people that are going through that in Ukraine. Obviously, it sucks to be in war, especially against a massive thing like Russia. But I don't think we should be poking our chest and they're starting possibly a World War III.
It's fucking terrifying. It's terrifying to me that the left are the ones that are behind this, encouraging it, when the left was always anti-war.
No, that's what they say when a war from the other side happens. Like, oh, no, we shouldn't be going to war. But that's the same thing they're going to do, because that's when trillions of dollars get made every time we go to war. Somebody's going to get rich. Maybe not me and you, but somebody's getting rich.
Exactly. That's really what's going on. Is someone's getting rich. And what drives me the most crazy is the left is the one. They're the ones that are always talking about equity and the communities that are disenfranchised. Do you know how much money they could have spent fixing up places like Baltimore and Detroit? It could be a paradise.
They don't care about any of those places.
They don't.
It's just a slogan.
It's just bullshit.
It's the same thing that they did in Cuba, literally, in places like Venezuela. In Cuba, they would come and tell the farmers, hey, man, these city boys, this is the reason why you only have like 1 or 2 cows. We need to all get together and go take their money and spread it around. And then you know what they did once they came to power? They went to those same farmers and said, hey, these 10 cows that you got? Now they're part of the state. You're going to raise them. And if you kill them, I'm going to put you in jail for 20 years. If you kill one of these cows, they're going to put tags on all of them. And we're going to give you like 5% of that cow. And if you have a problem with it, we'll put you in jail and the next person will come. So it's like kind of the same tactics they use here, divide and conquer. Constant, because they know if we unite as a people and like, hey, man, Trump was doing the right thing. We might not like him on Twitter. He might be a mean coach, but fuck, he wins titles constant. If we could do that, I mean, fuck, America will be right back to being great again,
Man, honestly, when it comes to this, and they're about to start talking about the banks, but how many Cubans have to tell people that these are the same tactics? How many guys? I've seen so many videos of people from Argentina, Albania, like older people who have lived through this stuff, and they're just like, this is how it started. Exactly what's happening here. This is how it started. How many of these guys have to come forward before... listen, I don't want to just say the left, but goddamn, man, I gotta say it. The left and other people, I guess. But like, how many? But even you and I, like, how many of us have to hear it and say, okay, they are using the same tactics. More than likely, it's leading to the same thing. Like when they were talking about Baltimore, that's why they don't care about Baltimore. They want the communities to be broken down. A strong community brings out strong people. Strong people think for themselves. People who think for themselves don't put up with nonsense. So of course they want a community. Dr. Peterson talks about this all the time. When you have no money, he talks about this with the energy crisis. He's like, when you have no money, when you don't have anything, you don't have time to think about the planet. And the same goes with what's happening in the world. When you have nothing, you don't care what the government's doing. You're just like, whatever. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to eat today. And hopefully today I can figure out how I'm going to eat tomorrow. And that's all you're concerned about. And that's why they don't build up a place like Baltimore. That's why you're going to see East Palestine. You're going to see it stay in the same condition. That's why they haven't done anything with Flint, Michigan. They want these places filled with hard-working American people, the blood of this country. They want them in those situations because then they just have to worry about that. And they have no time to worry about what's being done in the White House, in these alphabet companies. They have no time to worry about that. All right, so now we're going to hear these guys talk about the banks real quick. I'm sorry I'm getting passionate. It happens sometimes. Let's get into it.
Right now, what's going on with the banks? I'm hearing all types of crazy shit. I hear these crazy reports. I read these reports that I forgot the exact percentage, but if a certain percentage of people right now were to pull out their money, banks are collapsed. So
there's 200 banks that are apparently in danger. This is what I read. Is this?
I hope
this
it ain't
the case? Have you been paying? You've been paying attention.
Yeah,
a little
if
bit,
I like
right?
start looking too deep, it
get
sounds
panicked?
like the whole fucking thing is really about to just fall apart. But like, I'm like, okay.
I knew it was bad.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm so scared.
I knew it was bad when one of the heads of my bank sent me a message. Hey, I just want to send you a message. Everything is good here. We're well taken care of. You got nothing to worry about. Your money's in a safe
You're like,
place.
oh my God, let me get my money now.
I called him right away and I told him, hey, bro, do me a favor. Would you tell me if it wasn't good, though? You're going to tell me that? He's like, no, of course I would. I'm like, no, you wouldn't, man. Come take your money out now before we go broke. You're not going to tell me that, man.
Maybe we do it to you because you might fuck him up.
I might fuck him up, man. But damn, it's scary times we're living in, bro. I think
it's scary because I think a lot of these banks, it's kind of funky. It's like if you just take all the money out, they're fucked. And if people panic and they take all the money out, and then those banks are fucked, and then
we might have just collapsed the economy right now, me and you with this conversation.
Well, if you let too many people know what's going on, it could collapse the economy. If you let too many people panic, if someone decided, like some financial expert, not a moron like me, but someone who's like a legitimate financial
Elon Musk
expert,
says, get your money out now.
Oh my God! If Elon Musk got on Twitter and said, "Get your money out now," invest in gold, invest in Bitcoin, do something else, people would fucking panic. I mean, you're fighting at the FTX arena, which is wild.
Yeah. Well, Miami-Dade Arena now.
Now it is.
Yeah.
It still says FTX on my contract.
FTX Arena, bro. That's a fucking awesome one. And then how many billions of dollars did they give to millions, not billions?
Man. So they start getting into crypto, FTX, and everything. And just to bring up, like, what's happening with the banks is exactly what happened with crypto. Like, crypto recently, in the past, 3-4 months-ish, they went through a huge crash. And it was the same thing. It was one person saw something happening, a bunch of people saw it, everybody started pulling their money, and everything just toppled. And they're talking about the same exact situation. So it's like if all of a sudden you and whoever else is watching this and times that by 10 start pulling out money just from whatever bank they're at, yeah, it's going to be a rough time. But the thing that scares me and actually makes me feel better at the same time is somebody like Rogan, who's obviously worth like $250 million, like probably has like $200 million. Him being scared actually makes me feel a little better, because I feel like the billionaires and multi-millionaires, America's not going to allow all those people and all their legal teams and all their forces and everything, it's not allowed to collapse. As long as those people exist and they're in the country and their money's in the country, it's not going to be allowed to collapse. So as much as everybody's very worried, I think when we see people who are high up, and they're worried as well, I think that's good, because those are the people who make the calls and say, hey, listen, bail this situation out. Hey, listen, Rogan's going to move to Dominican Republic if we don't, and then you times that by like how many, other millionaires and billionaires there are. So yeah, man, I love this episode. It's a great episode. And I'll be honest with you. I'll give you a timestamp real quick, just because you've been in the episode with me for this long. If you go from 1 hour and 9 minutes to 1 hour and 40 minutes, that's the chunk where they're talking about the government and the situations. And if you want to hear it uninterrupted, you guys know Rogan's on Spotify. You can go hit up that interview, hit 1 hour and 8 minutes, and listen all the way to like 1 hour and 48 minutes, and you'll get the chunk of like what I've been so excited about in regards to this episode. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think's gonna happen with the banks? What do you think about the whole thing he's talking about, divide and conquer? And what do you think when you hear a Cuban American who has family that's been through the communist movement? What do you think when they say this? Does it alarm you? Do you like shoo it away? What do you think about this whole thing? There's a lot of things going on at once. And as much as it makes me go, okay, I gotta find all this, I gotta track this, I gotta watch it, I gotta report on it. It also makes me think, what else is going on that I'm not looking at? Not to say that, because these are big situations, but they're also possibly distractions. And if the distractions are this big, it's like, how big is the thing they're distracting us from? I don't know. I always just think like that. I'll take off the tinfoil hat. Sorry about that. I just always think that. But again, if there's been any value in this episode to you, please hit that subscribe button. We're at 31,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit 35,000. It's been amazing rocking with you guys. I'm heading out. It's dinner time.